Good morning, I'm Ashish Kalra. I run a family office in India. I have bachelor's degrees in electrical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin, master's in operations research from Cornell, master's in industrial engineering from Cornell, an MBA from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business, all ranked number one, I believe, in their respective fields. I'm just going to do a little summary of what I've been talking about. There are basically a number of animal viruses that are happening because human beings are living closer to animals, and they're also eating animals importantly. So the various kinds of diseases and viruses like the H5N1 virus because of eating chicken, the Nipah virus, the swine flu pandemic, swine flu influenza from eating pigs, and then various viruses from bats, and then consumption of civets in 2003-2004, which caused SARS, and then MERS, which was caused in 2012 to 2014 in the Middle East from consumption of camel, and then the current pandemic because of consumption of pangolin. So very quickly, I just want to talk about bat viruses. Basically, they've gone from, in 1994, the Hendra virus, and then the Ebola virus in 1976, and then reoccurred in 2014 in West Africa because of consumption of bush meat, Nipah virus because of pigs, and then there's a bat infected. The horseshoe bat was the reservoir virus for civets, according to Dr. Peter Daszak at the EcoHealth Alliance, one of the best disease ecologists, which caused the SARS virus, and then the current pandemic because of pangolin. So basically, this is the sort of evolution of animal viruses, and the section over here is what I call the phase 2, which is really the intensity increasing. Now, what is also important, what I want to highlight here, there's a study by the University of Chicago Booth School of Business and Columbia University a month and a half ago talking about meat packing plants in the US causing up to 8% of US COVID cases and responsible for the killing of nearly 5,000 people. The research has sort of said that the plants are transmission vectors for the disease, and according to me, this is very similar to the mad cow disease or the Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, which has happened several times over the last many years, which causes dementia and death in human beings. Very quickly on SARS, this was a precursor to the current pandemic. Great research by Robert Roos talking about the causality of SARS with consumption of civets, and then genetic tests have suggested a link between samples in Guangdong in 2003-2004. The civet is a delicacy in China. In 2004, 14,000 civets were ordered to be killed by the Chinese government. And then what I've also talked about is the intensity of the virus increasing. If you look at 2012-2013 MERS, and then the SARS virus. The other important thing about SARS is that the way it's spread. If you read the pandemic, page 51, by Sonia Shah Harper Collins, basically she talks about a doctor who passes the virus on to a nurse who was working with him. She passes it on to some people in Singapore, and then the hotel where he was staying, people from there pass the virus on through flights to Vietnam, to China, to the US, to Iceland and Canada. The virus spreads to 32 countries. And lastly, I just want to talk about the megaviruses. The SARS virus 2003-2004, consumption of civets, spreads to 32 countries. 2009, the swine flu pandemic spreads to 213 countries, 300,000 people killed. Sources are Wikipedia and Center for Infectious Disease. Then the MERS virus, because of consumption of camel in the Middle East, spreads to 27 countries. And then the current epidemic, which is consumption of bat-infected pangolin. Now, the main difference between MERS and the current epidemic is that here there were 6 to 7 regular flights from Wuhan to the US, 6 to 7 regular flights to Europe, 6 to 7 regular flights from Wuhan to Iran, and that's how the virus spreads. It basically moves to an urban setting, according to Peter Daszak at the EcoHealth Alliance, and that gives it the fuel to spread. And basically, the virus spreads human mouth to human mouth. There are 2 holes in the body. The most efficient way for the virus to spread is mouth to mouth. And this is basically, you've got to disrupt the animal food chain. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 is to stop killing wild animals, basically civets, pangolin, deer, chimpanzees, wild boar. And then the phase 3 is to stop killing domesticated animals, cattle, chicken, pigs. Just the last point here is that animals have inbuilt mechanisms to prevent themselves from human consumption. Ecosystem B, which is human beings, cannot feed on ecosystem A, which is animals, and ecosystem C, which is cannibals, cannot feed on ecosystem B, which is human beings. They get brain disease. We have to disrupt the animal food chain. And then last and more importantly, the design of man is to be vegetarian. If you look at the teeth of carnivores as different, man has teeth like a herbivore. They drink water differently. Carnivores have much larger kidneys to flush out poisonous meat. Man and herbivores have smaller kidneys. And then herbivores and man have much larger intestines. The design of man is vegetarian.